Hi everyone, this is Socionics.
Hi everyone. So after an unintentional break, we continue making videos, and today we are gonna talk about extroverted sensing. And so you need to understand that this is not a theoretical videos. So we're not gonna cover completely all possible information about the aspect. We're just gonna tell you about our experience, how we experience it in our lives, and share with you a couple of interesting stories that, in our opinion, are good examples of how you can see extroverted sensing in your everyday life.
Yeah, we're just doing it in casual way.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be here super scientific.
Mm-hmm.
Like to prevent it from being boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not going to be scientific or educational, but it will contain a little bit of education.
Elements of education.
Yeah. Okay, so
educational elements. Yeah.
So that's the plan. Okay, so a couple of stories that we wanted to share with you is first my personal experience.
About what?
About extroverted sensing.
So our topic today is extroverted sensing.
Extroverted sensing, and so extroverted sensing is
Socionics aspect.
Socionic aspect.
One of 8.
Yes.
One of 8 main aspects.
Mm-hmm.
There are more, but
yeah. And the keywords that people usually associate it with are power, control, expanding influence, expanding limits, and through forcing something. So it's not natural way of going, but it's through forcing something, making like an influence on something.
Yeah, making something through force.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be physical, it can be verbal. So if we are talking about power, it's not necessarily like a physical.
Well, it's not just power. Power is just one of the ways how it like reveals itself in the world, but or through people.
Yeah, or animals. This is the most animal aspect from all.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Yeah. Okay, so the first story is so when I was working in a restaurant, I had a guy. He had very strong extroverted sensing. It was very conscious, and oh god, when he was passing me, it felt like this space expands around. He covers so much space around him, even though he's not like a big guy, but still, like on the energetic level, he's just covers so much space. And when he was like coming to me and said, "Okay, let me take care of this," I will do this. And it felt like he is a boss, even though he wasn't. But he's like in control with everything that is going on in a restaurant. He was like overlooking the space, people inside, like everything. And we have even had, this is such it's hard to explain the feeling, but something happened outside of the restaurant, some very, very loud noise, and something, either it's crashed or near the restaurant. And the speed with which he just ran out of the restaurant, like almost his fists were like this, and he was like, "What's going on?" near my restaurant.
There is some danger.
Danger, yes. And I can't impersonate him because I'm not like that, but just, you feel that person is in control with everything that is going on around. He just pays attention to it so much. And also, so you can say that when he was in a customer service, so he was serving the clients, just asking what do they want, and especially if a group of guys came in, like 5 people, and he's only one, but still he was like, his behavior is so intimidating. He's like, what do you want? What do you want? And what do you want? The one that was hiding like at the back of other people, like, what do you want? And like you feel like he's like challenging
and
a
how
little
people
bit.
reacted to that.
They were scared, I think. They were intimidated, maybe not scared, but intimidated.
Just by question?
Just by his behavior and the energy that he is like throwing at them. I don't know, is it right way to say that, but that's it. And you feel like if he wants to be a threat, then he knows how to do that. And he can also see a threat in other people, I think, very well also.
Yeah. I can also give another example of extroverted sensing that I read. A lot of people know Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah.
Roosevelt, who was the president, and he got kind of interesting story, which he said that it was insignificant, but
insignificant.
But what happened? He was riding a horse alone, completely.
In the woods.
Not in the woods. No, it was
in midnight.
No, don't make up details.
Okay.
And he sees there are just around the cliff 5 Indians on horses appear, and as soon as they see him, they started to galloping on horses towards with their rifles pointing at him.
Yeah, and he is one.
Yeah, he is one.
And they are 5.
So what did he do?
What would you do, I wonder?
What would you do?
Oh, don't ask me. I would be just happy if somebody like Roosevelt was around me.
Well, so what he did, he jumped off the horse and he standed and he took his rifle in his hands and was waiting while they were approaching. And when they were about 100 yards, he pointed gun on the one of them. And as soon as he did this, like his rifle, as soon as he did this, the Indians immediately dived, leaned to hide behind the horses. And they turned around.
Too much mental pressure.
Even though they were all armed, they just turned around and started galloping backwards
this is
hiding behind horses.
This is a very good example of the mental confrontation, because no physical confrontation happened. It was just a mental battle between one person and 5 and a group. Yeah,
he said that they saw that he is serious about shooting.
He's serious in his position of confrontation. And they were probably not that much sure about it from their side.
Yeah. So, basically this is how he got rid of them. And then he just rode into the very open area, so they couldn't ambush him, even though they followed him. But they couldn't ambush him this way. And he didn't lost in this situation at all.
He secured himself after.
You mean he made himself safe?
Yeah, exactly, from the danger.
Yeah. And there are many other situations, but when he
this
was
is
confronting somebody in dangerous situation. But this is one of them.
This is a great example. It is always very easy to give an example of extroverted sensing when you're talking about confrontation. This is always easy to just give this kind of examples because this is the most
how person acts.
Yeah.
Like how
he evaluate danger, how he positioned himself in a dangerous situation.
By the way, fighting is not always the best option.
Yeah.
But he actually, in this situation, he didn't fight. He didn't
exactly.
shoot.
He didn't even fight. He just mentally
threatened.
He threatened them. Exactly. So there are a lot of different, ways that you can see extroverted sensing. It's not always just the fight itself. In a movie Hero, if you remember Hero, they were in a Chinese and they were fighting in their minds, and then they were fighting physically. So if person won in his mind, then you don't need to fight physically because you know that you will lose anyway.
Yeah, I suppose it's just more intuitive way to describe it.
Yeah.
Extroverted sensing, but
yeah, that's much more peaceful way.
But that's something that happens when you see a person with strong extroverted sensing, or not necessarily see, but when you sometimes you just know that you don't want to argue with that person.
Yes,
just by
exactly.
look of that person.
Exactly. This is also a very good point.
It's not always the case because people with strong extroverted sensing can sometimes appear like peaceful and smiling, but it depends also on situation. But this is the example. Okay, we're out of time.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching, and hopefully you learned something new about extroverted sensing. Next time we're gonna talk about other aspect. Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
See you. Have a good one.